everybody. I'm Lyle Smith, and I am a data scientist embedded in the content organization at BuzzFeed. I'm here to talk about working with creative people in data and the unique challenges that we face in doing that, making sure that we're helping them do their job without inhibiting the creative process. So, a little background about BuzzFeed in case you haven't heard of it. It's a complicated global cross-platform network for news and entertainment. So our content is produced by people in-house largely and community users and then distributed all across the web. So on our own platforms and then also on Facebook, Instagram, it kind of goes all over. So in looking at data with this, there are a lot of signals and things that you can learn from in understanding how content's performing. So when we talk about content, one of the main things that we talk about is the feedback loop. So at BuzzFeed, there are content creators who create posts, videos, GIFs, kind of everything that you can think of, and distribute that out to different platforms and then learn from the information that's coming back. So how many people shared it, how many people viewed it, how many unique individuals versus just page views. And I work with the people making stuff. So trying to help them understand more about what's working, what's not working, what we should be doing more of, what we can learn from. So as an editor at BuzzFeed, you have a lot of tools at your disposal. So this is an awesome article that you should all read. 24 pictures that will make people with siblings laugh harder than they should. So when you're publishing a post to our site currently, there are a bunch of different tools that you can use to understand the best way to present your story. So the first part, there is an A/B test that runs on the title. An editor will put in multiple titles and an optimizer will run to surface the title that has the best click-through. Similarly, there's thumbnail optimization. So we surface the best thumbnail for each post. So again, an editor will pick a couple of different versions of a thumbnail and then we'll surface the one that's working the best. Beyond that, we've done a lot of analysis on lists, and it's something that we've been doing for a long time. So people understand a lot about maybe 60 items is too much and maybe 3 isn't enough. So while there isn't any prescriptive information saying this list should have exactly 24, we've done analysis to say don't go too long and don't go too short. So there are guidelines that people work within. And then beyond that, there's signals to help people understand when their content's exceeding. So we have a trending badge on the site, which means that your content is getting a certain amount of views within a certain time frame. So it's an early signal for writers to understand that their content is performing well. After a post has been published, we also have a bunch of tools that editors can use to understand how their content performed. So this is our dashboard. So it's that same post that I was talking about earlier, but it's breaking down our viral traffic, our seed traffic, and then it's surfacing this measure that's an internal measure of success called social lift. The way we think about our traffic is really broken down into the traffic that we seed out. So traffic that's consumed because people have discovered the content, or traffic that is from people discovering the content on our own pages, and then viral views, meaning the traffic that is generated from people discovering our content other places. So on Facebook, on Pinterest, you emailed it to your mom, whatever happened, that is considered a viral view. And that social lift is really trying to understand the relationship between those two metrics. So these are all indicators to a writer about the success of their posts. Like, was it shared as much as I thought? Is the viral traffic as high as I thought it would be? There are a bunch of indicators that help people understand what's working. So I started at BuzzFeed about a year and a half ago, but I've only been working within the content organization for about 10 months. And when I started working within that group, one of the first things I did was walked around and asked editors what they cared about. People have all different types of questions that they think can be answered with data. Some can and some can't, but people wanted to know what content should we be making more of, what should we be making less of, what should we be moving away from, what's the content that's shared the most, what is the content that brings in new people. There were a lot of general questions around trying to understand more macro trends around our data. And broaden that feedback loop for editors. But the one question that I kept hearing over and over again was, what time should I publish? So at the time of me starting within the content organization, I focused mainly on the buzz content, so not as much with news. They perform slightly differently. And every editor within the BuzzFeed organization hit publish when they wanted to. So they wanted to know when they should be hitting publish. People had all different types of ideas around, oh, like if I publish at 1 o'clock, that's the best time for quizzes. If I publish at 7 o'clock, that's the best time for more serious stuff. If I publish on the weekend, people will consume more lifestyle content. There were all these myths around what was the best time to publish stuff. And so it was a question that came from all different parts of the organization. So as a newbie within the org, I thought I should take it on as my first project. So the first thing that I looked at was our publishing rhythm. So this is just looking at the median and average amount of content that we publish per hour. This is over a 5-month span, so it's not all time or anything, but you can see that we really were publishing in the 8-hour period that people considered the Eastern Standard workday. So people at 10 o'clock would get in and publish the draft that they had finished the night before, and then it kind of dipped off after that. And after 6 o'clock, when people went home, publishing went down a lot. One of the things that's interesting here, there is publishing that happens outside of those hours, but we have teams all over the world that are producing English language content. Like the fact that it's this skewed was kind of shocking to me. We have people in the UK, Australia, India, in LA. We have a big team in LA, and in talking to them, we found that they actually held their content to publish in the Eastern Standard Day as well, because they thought, if I publish at 9 p.m., it's not going to do as well. 9 p.m. Eastern time, it's not going to do as well. So we had lots of editors trying to game the system. Furthermore, day to day, our publishing changed a fair amount. Sorry, these aren't labeled with the day. It's labeled with numbers. But it's Sunday to Saturday, so you can see that publishing kind of peaks on Tuesdays and then drops off on the weekends. Again, it's a reflection of the fact that people had these ideas around what should go up during the week, and really our lifestyle content was getting pushed out more on the weekend. And also, we don't have people who work on the weekend, so there weren't people who finished content as much on the weekend days.